Hello and welcome back to the channel. L Dominance, Anthony here. Please remember to like and subscribe, and also click that notification bell if you're enjoying what you're seeing and if you want to continue seeing more. Coming up in this episode, 6 stories from the world of Rugby League as the European Rugby League Under-19s tournament continues. Tom Dearden and Manly Seagulls all feature in the episode. We've not done this for quite some time, so 6 stories from Rugby League is a good way to catch up from the game's newsworthy stories that you may have missed from last week. So, Tuesday 6 stories will begin at Wigan Warriors, as it's been announced that their second row star, Liam Farrell, will be out of the playoff picture for 2022. His Super League season is essentially over. The Warriors' second rower, who was named in the Super League Dream Team again yesterday, has been told a knee injury could sideline him for more than 2 months. It's a bitter blow for him and his club, the Challenge Cup holders, who stand just 80 minutes away from another grand final. But it also leaves Farrell a huge doubt for the Rugby League World Cup. It was a certainty in Sean Wayne's squad for the tournament, which kicks off against Samoa on October the 15th. Farrell suffered the injury in a recent win over St Helens, and he said, "The news is probably better than we initially thought. We didn't think it would be long term. I knew something was wrong as I got up and my leg was a bit like spaghetti. But we're looking now for around 8 to 10 weeks. And he asked if it meant his World Cup hopes were over too. Farrell replied, "We will see. If Wayne wants to select me, I'll have a conversation with him. It's been 7 weeks around when the World Cup starts, so we'll see." Wigan must now press on without the 32-year-old who has excelled again this year. Having finished second, they have a home semi-final on Friday week for a place at Old Trafford. But Farrell did admit he's really disappointed, but it's just one of those things. He said you'd have to get over those injuries, and I've been quite fortunate throughout my career to have the lack of them sorts. I am more disappointed, just more because of the squad we've got here and the capability of what we can do. But I'll try and get myself fixed up as soon as I can. I don't need surgery. I've got to stay in a brace for quite a bit and then start some rehab. So the Penrith Panthers winger Taylor May has had a wow of a year on the field, but off of the field he has caused as many news headlines for his actions. Having been fined $1,000 for being guilty of an assault, plus ordered to pay $1,000 in court costs, Taylor May has been given a 2-match suspension by the NRL for the incident. Rival clubs, though, have been left fuming, and fans are up in arms after the Panthers star was banned for the 2 matches for assaulting a teenager, but was given the go-ahead to play in the finals and served the suspension in 2023. The 21-year-old, who has stood out on the wing for Penrith this season, was found guilty in court last week of occasioning bodily harm following an incident on Queensland's Sunshine Coast last year. It involved a man, 18-year-old, who was reportedly being a pest at the Duporth Tavern in Maroochydore on October the 8th. I apologise for getting that incorrect. When May was out celebrating Penrith's premiership win days earlier with superstar halfback Nathan Cleary, Jerome Luai and May's older brother Tyrone. The court heard that Cleary approached the eager footy fan who early taken a video of him, which the number 7 wanted deleted. CCTV footage showed May walk up behind the man while he was talking to Cleary and Tyrone May. He could be seen grabbing the man by the collar of his shirt and forcibly pulling him to the ground, where the victim injured his neck. Here is a still of that said incident. In Maroochydore local court, Magistrate Matthew McLaughlin labelled May's action as reprehensible and cowardly before fining him that $1,000 and ordered $1,000 in compensation to go to the victim. Crucially, May escaped a conviction, and although he has been issued a $7,500 fine by the NRL, half of which is suspended, he'll be free to play in the NRL Finals Series starting on Friday in the qualifying final versus Parramatta at the Bluebet Stadium. In a statement, the NRL said they factored in when the incident took place, the date of which the court proceedings were finalised, and the impact of the match suspension at this time of the year, to not give him the 2-match suspension during the playoffs. This set fans off on social media as they were up in arms at the development, with many supporters accusing the NRL of giving the Panthers preferential treatment as they chase back-to-back titles. One person saying, "Do we need more proof that certain clubs get treated differently to others?" Another stated, "Imagine if you were Dragon star Jack de Belling, stood down for 2 years for sexual assault allegation, found not guilty, and then you have Tyler May who was found guilty and allowed to play." It remains unknown what those imposed club sanctions were when they first encountered the measure and said that the club were made aware of the incident at the time, informed the NRL and undertook an investigation into the matter and implemented disciplinary measures against Tyler May. As part of the punishment handed down by the NRL, May must attend counselling, education and training in relation to the assault. In the Rugby League Finals history, a number of high-profile players have missed matches stemming from on-the-field incidents at the business end of the year. Like Cam Smith, the Melbourne Storm great, who was banned for a grapple tackle. Luke Ricketson was called for a charge in the demerit points system due to a Grade 3 striking offence, which ruled him out of 2004's decider against the Bulldogs for the Roosters. And in 1988, Balmain prop Steve Roach audaciously flew to England to be named for Warrington in the final 2 games of his 4-match ban. While the UK have Newcastle's Jack Johnson, young gun Tom Dearden has proved himself one of the NRL's toughest players, sporting the UFC protective wearing a desperate bid to be part of the Cowboys' push for a second premiership. The 21-year-old soldiered on for 50 minutes after suffering an injury in a 2-try man-of-the-match performance against the Warriors in round 23, and then fronted up last week against the Penrith Panthers, just 12 days after having surgery on a ruptured testicle. Wearing a UFC box to protect an injury that usually required up to a month to recover, Dearden capped off a brilliant regular season with an 80-minute stint against the Panthers, featuring him with 2 try assists. Speaking to NRL.com, he said it was pretty painful for the few days and he was lucky he could recover quickly. If he didn't feel like he was 100% or could do his job for the team, then he wouldn't have played. I definitely wore a bit of protection. I got a UFC box, so I felt a lot more confident with that. I don't think there has been too many of those types of injuries. It was quite painful for the first few days, but in terms of injuries, I'm pretty lucky it was only a week out, and then I could get back to it. I was pretty determined to get back to training with the boys, and it was great to be able to play the last game of the season. In recognition of his toughness and talent, Dearden was named the NRL Cowboys Way Award winner on Sunday at the club's presentation night, after registering 8 tries and 15 try assists in a breakout season. Dearden's standout performance for the Cowboys earned him a call up to the Origin Arena for the deciding game in the Brisbane, and the 21-year-old stood tall as he has done all season as the Maroons wrapped up the series. He talked about Todd Payton's words during the pre-season as he collected the award. I remember in pre-season Toddy was talking about North Queensland region as a region and what the people are like. We know they're tough and resilient, and they've been through a lot of things like cyclones and floods, but the community continually bounces back, and I think that's what we relate our culture at the Cowboys to, trying to be resilient and tough. I think our boys this year have thrown so many curveballs, and we've been really good with handling all of that. You handle those situations based on culture. To say that this season has been a disaster for the Manly Sea Eagles has been an understatement. Having only achieved 11th place in the NRL table this time around, they have missed out on the playoffs. And it is being reported that half of the Manly Sea Eagles squad didn't turn up to the team's Mad Monday celebrations. At the end of every regular season, all 16 clubs hold an event where players and staff can relax and let their hair down after a long campaign. But this was not the case. It's understood that the Sea Eagles players boycotted the event. According to the Daily Telegraph's Phil Rothfield, who said on Fox Sports' NRL 360 show, they are completely fractured about the Sea Eagles. They had their Mad Monday on Sunday after the Cowboys lost. The Canterbury Bulldogs lost. They were all supposed to turn up at Brookvale Oval for a beer and a drink and a get-together. Half didn't show up. It goes to show just how tense and prickly the environment is in Manly after a torrid season of sagas off the field and poor performances on it. And, as we all know, this wasn't the first boycott the club has experienced in the last few months. As back in August, the Sea Eagles became engulfed in a saga which made headlines around the world, with several players threatening to boycott their upcoming game if they were forced to wear a Rainbow Pride jersey. Neither the club nor the players came out of the entire ordeal looking particularly good, and their form on the field took a hit as a result. Team that was tipped to easily make the NRL finals ended up finishing outside of the top 8, and now Des Hasler's position as coach, as well as Daly Jerry Evans' role as captain, has come into question. Cherry Evans is sort of a loose cat sort of character, so when there's a problem like the Pride jersey or tactics or form or Des and they want to discuss it, he's not approachable as someone like a Jake Jurojevich, Phil Buzz Rothfield said. This is why there is a push for Jake to take over. I don't think it's any secret that he has a relationship problem with a lot of football sides. I don't know if it's about the salary, $1.2 million, which he probably hasn't justified for a long time, he continued about Daly Cherry Evans. Tributes have been paid to first team assistant coach of Lee Miners Rangers, who passed away suddenly while in Italy. Gary McMahon from Wigan was on England Community Lions duty abroad. Gary had joined the Miners Rugby League team in the beginning of 2022, following his work with Wigan St Jude's. The 56-year-old had been over in Italy working with the England Community Lions when he died. The team has paid tribute to him following his death, saying he was pivotal in their development both on and off the field since joining. Community Lions Under-19 said they are devastated, but decided to continue their European Championship campaign after consulting Gary's family. In a statement from the Lee Miners Rangers, Lee Miners Rangers are saddened to hear the very untimely passing of first team assistant coach Gary McMahon whilst away on England Community Lions duty in Italy. Gary joined Miners at the beginning of the year from Wigan St Jude's and has been pivotal in the development on and off the field as we finish the season in a respectable 7th place finish in our return to the NCL Premier Division. A superb character around the club who has been sadly missed by all, who will be sadly missed by all. We send our love and condolences to Gary's partner, Lisa, son Gary, daughter Sky, and Gary's family and friends at this very sad time. The club would also like to send their condolences to all of the England Community Lions under-19s players and staff who are currently in Italy completing in the European Championships. Rest in peace, Gary McMahon. The tournament that England Community Lions was involved in was being held by the European Rugby League and is a under-19s competition. Kicked off on the 3rd of September in the Udine region of Italy and featured Ukraine as under-19s, England, France, Wales, Serbia and Ireland in the tournament. There was an 8th team, Scotland, but they had to pull out after fulfilling sanctions imposed on them that they accepted from the Rugby League board for failing to fulfil a fixture. Each team played each other in 20-minute games on the opening day, which meant that a league table was able to be compiled. And this is how the league sat after that first round of fixtures. France lead the way and the defending champions have done better than just win all 6 games. They have only conceded 4 points in their 6 games. And that was against England. England's only loss came against France, the French team being very, very competitive. Wales are in 3rd place, winning 4 of their 6 games, with Ukraine with 3 wins, Ireland with 2, Italy with 1, and Serbia unfortunately bottomed the group with no wins from their 6 games. The tournament then splits off after the group games, starting today, Tuesday the September the 6th, with the semi-finals of the European Championships. France will play Ukraine. Ukraine getting into the semi-finals is fantastic for not only the nation, but the sport in that country, while England play Wales on the 4 o'clock kickoff in the same semi-final format. Also, we see a round robin European Shield section for the bottom 3 sides as Ireland, Italy and Serbia face each other in a 40-minute games. Ireland will play Italy, Italy will play Serbia, and then Serbia will play Ireland in those games in a quick turnaround. Then the tournament takes a break as round 2 of the European Shield occurs on Saturday the 10th of September. Again, 40-minute games. Ireland versus Italy, Serbia versus Italy, and then Ireland versus Serbia to complete the European Shield. It'll be fun to watch those games to close off the tournament, as it's a fantastic idea, as in the future they can expand it into, well, it would have been an 18 tournament with Scotland involved, or even go further with other nations, Spain, Germany, Holland, Norway. Whoever wants to play in the tournament just makes their way there and put their hand up to play the sport. I hope that's an option in the future, because it would be a fantastic format. Even if they tried doing it twice a year, that would make it absolutely fantastic. As long as it's toured. Italy's this first one, not this one, as it's been going for years. I hope to see it being played in Ireland in the future. And that's it for another episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe and share this video worldwide, as well as clicking on that notification bell for any updates on new videos that may be coming your way. Tell me what your thoughts are of today's video in the comment section below. I know it's an episode that everyone wanted, but nobody really wanted to see. But there's a lot of information for you. I hope you do enjoy it, being seriously. And do you think this format will be a winner with more and more stories coming out? Can you all go to Lee Miners Rangers and spread the condolences for Mr. McMahon? You seem like a very, very popular figure at the club, and did the club a lot of wonders, and also spread the warmth for the England Lions as they did there over in Italy, and unfortunately with him when they passed. Anyway, I digress. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to share this video worldwide, and in the meantime, please stay safe. I wish you all the best, and I'll see you in the next episode.